With us getting so close and us have been sacrificing for so many years, not only on this mortgage, but consumer debt, saving for our down payment, like I really want us to be able to enjoy our money sometime soon. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We're going to go over December's budget, everything going on in the month of December. You guys know I have been super excited about December. It is a 3 paycheck month, which means there is more money for us to send someplace. If you've not already seen our video talking about how we handle 3 paycheck months as extra money, we will have that linked in the description. So let's jump right into it. So both cards here is what we'll start with today. The card on the left, that's likely what's going to end up being due by the end of December. And then this card on the right here, we're actually going to pay this out of the first December paycheck. So it'll likely end up being a different balance that's due by January 6th is my due date for that card. Let's start with income here. So 3 paycheck month, like I said, income is going to be for the first paycheck a little bit more than usual because Dennis did work on Thanksgiving, so they did get a little bit extra pay for that. This time both paychecks together are coming to $33.80. So with that excess, we're actually going to just pay that card. November's balance, we're going to end up paying that off with that extra money that we have there. Also, what we'll end up doing is putting together all the money for like bills, and then putting that aside like we do every month in our sinking fund, or basically in the savings account. So with adding up all of these here, and it'll be all these expenses that show here on the side from YouTube TV down to gas, which with Apple numbers, I think it makes it super easy because you can just drag this little circle here all the way down and it tells you how much it is. Mine is coming to, in the bottom left corner, $11.20. I'll put that money aside in the savings account, and then also adding in the first payment for the first paycheck being $2,000. It'll be a total of $31.20. And then with having a couple hundred left over, like I said, 100 of that going to the one credit card. The disclaimer that none of the things I go over in the budget is going to be like our spending money, which is $150 every 2 weeks. We have it automatically come out of my paycheck and go to a completely different bank account, just so it's all in one account, and we use that just for spending money, etc. So I don't even include it in this part of it, if anyone was wondering that from last month. So that'll be the first part of the month. I haven't gotten a lot of these bills yet, but I do know that some of these are fixed, like the YouTube TV. Anything that says actual, that's a fixed expense where I know how much it's going to be. It's not going to change. And then things that fluctuate being like electric, water, groceries, gas, but it's a pretty good estimate. I'm basing like electric and gas really off of the prior month. So last month our gas bill was about $66, and then last month our electric bill was about $109. So just expecting both of those to keep increasing as we get further and further into winter. Highest it'll probably go will probably be in January as far as gas. So expecting that to reach 100 and maybe higher just with gas alone. Next paycheck will be the second paycheck of the month. So on average, both of our paychecks together every 2 weeks is coming to $3,200. So with the second paycheck of the month, what we'll do is do our second mortgage payment, which the second time we typically do the $2,500. And then that in combination with doing some savings here will be $700. It'll bring us right to $3,200 for the second paycheck. Really, when you make sure that all after your income and taking away expenses, we try to get it as close to zero as possible so we don't just have money sitting, like every dollar has a name basically. This time we know we're gonna have extra money in December typically. So with going to the third paycheck, like we said before, $2,000 of that is going to our mortgage for our third mortgage payment that we do on 3 paycheck months. So after the $2,000 that we're going to send, we'll have the $1,200 left over. But we actually already have plans for a lot of this money, which part of it we've actually been planning for a while. because at the beginning of this year, if you guys saw our 2023 goals video, my goal was to not buy any clothes for the full year, which I pretty much have done that. I want to say I maybe spent $10 on clothes this year. So I've almost made it the entire year with basically not buying clothes. I had like a gift card, and then there was a little bit left over that I needed to spend like a few extra. So knowing that, I've been telling Dennis like what we're going to do is take some money from our third paycheck of the month and just buy whatever we want to get for clothes, because we both need clothes. I especially just need pants. Like we both need a ton of clothes. Like with Dennis and I both have lost a lot of weight in the past year. A lot of our clothes don't fit. Like we need to donate a lot of clothes, and we just need to kind of start fresh. So I really want us to be able to get whatever we need and not have to worry about how much it costs at this point. With this $1,200 that'll be remaining, a third of that we're setting aside for clothing, which $200 each is what I'm thinking. Because you guys know, when you go shopping, even when you go places like we go that are super affordable, like Old Navy, Target, when they're having sales, that still adds up really, really fast. So I feel like $100 you can spend super quick. And so $200 still might be a little hard for both of us, but we are going to make it work with that. So we set aside $400 for clothing. For an outing that we have coming up, we have a third of that set aside for that as well, which we obviously typically wouldn't spend $400 on outing, but it's going to be a little bit of a special outing that we'll hopefully get to talk about more later this month. And then we decided that we are going to travel in 2024. So while this 3 paycheck month is here and we don't typically have as much wiggle room in our budget or as much money left over as we will this month, we're trying to get ready for this early on and set aside $400 for that, which we want to visit some family sometime next year. Which I kind of just feel like I'm at this point where, God willing, 2024 is going to be our last full year with a mortgage. So it's just like with us getting so close and us have been sacrificing for so many years, not only on this mortgage, but consumer debt, saving for our down payment. Like I really want us to be able to enjoy our money sometime soon and just enjoy life and do things that bring us joy, like experiences, not just, even though, trust me, I am such a homebody, and being at home, like I want to do that so much, but I also want to enjoy our money, enjoy our time. Anyway, long story short, we are setting that money aside now, a little bit now. I feel like my ultimate goal for that will be obviously a bit more with us traveling and things like that, but starting now, we're going to do $400 setting aside for that. So that brings us right to $1,200, and that brings us right to basically how much our third paycheck month is expected to be. What we have left over actually would be just our side hustle money, which we're expecting to be about $330 from Dennis picking up a shift. And that money, I remembered here recently that we wanted to add more money to our kids' 529 by the end of this year. I didn't realize how much that would be or how much it could be. If you haven't seen our 529 video, we will have that linked in the description. But if you guys saw that video, you know we started out with $100 each, so $200 total. Haven't been adding, anything on a recurring basis. Our goal was just to add money when we could, and then once we get to a point where we can do things on a recurring basis, then we will. But I know that we need to set some money aside for that while we can, because like I said, we don't have this much extra money sitting aside basically at all with doing so much to the mortgage. It probably happens like a good twice a year. So we need to do that. So that's our goal with that extra money. I'm going to say $200 of that going towards each child again, even though I know it's not a whole lot compared to how much they're going to someday need for college. But like I said, we're just doing what we can now. At least we started it. And then in the future, definitely plan to do it more often and really invest as much as we can with it. Every little bit counts for now. That's what we plan to do. And then with the remaining, that'll be like a good $130 remaining. I really just want to have it kind of just set aside, still in savings, but just leave it there for a rainy day, just because things come up. If you guys saw our November recap video, we had some unexpected medical expenses pop up. You just never know when things could pop up. So we're going to just save the remaining amount of money and put it aside just for a rainy day. If it's something we end up needing later, then we can use it if needed. But for now, that is where we are at for the month of December. I'm super thankful for this 3 paycheck month, but I also know that we need to take advantage of us having a little bit extra money. So comment down below what you guys are doing for December 2023. It is the last month of the year. So crazy how fast time goes. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.